The 9/11 attacks on the United States led to the country being a constant military presence in Afghanistan for the last 20 years. The decision to pull U.S. troops from Afghanistan led to a chaotic withdrawal as the United States tried to safely evacuate its military personnel.
You know, we built a huge bureaucracy, Homeland Security. We expanded our national security state immensely. We've spent huge sums on military intelligence, wars in Afghanistan as well as Iraq. And so I think there's a question for the public of, did we over-respond? Did we extend ourselves too widely in the international sphere? And did we maybe spend too much on our own domestic surveillance and our own domestic bureaucracy? I think those are questions that we're going to continue to wrestle with, you know, even in 2021.
President Biden's decision to pull military support from the region has been met with criticism as the world watched as the government was taken over by the Taliban, the terrorist organization who claimed responsibility for the 9/11 attacks in a matter of days.
If the military is not willing to fight for themselves, if the government cannot become legitimate and purge themselves of corruption, it is a never-ending commitment by the United States in terms of nation building. And my heart breaks. I mean, my heart breaks for what will happen to women in that nation, what will happen to young girls in that nation. There are many across the globe who feel like the United States has betrayed those people. But in the end, if you ask most Americans, were you willing to stay there another 10 years, another 20 years, another 30 years? Most Americans would say, well, the strategic interests of the United States, it's probably not there, right? The strategic interests are not that critical for us to stay there for 20 years where we continue to have to prop up the government, spend incredible sums of money to try to maintain their own military, when in the end, always realizing that if at any point we leave, it's going to fold like a house of cards.
With the Taliban taking control of the government, there are questions on what continued relations between the United States and the Afghan government will look like.
If this is the Taliban pre-9/11 that's executing people in the streets, that is prohibiting women and young girls from attending schools or being in the workplace, we're probably not going to see dynamic relations with the Taliban. China has already entered this arena. They've pledged, I think, something like $30 million to the Taliban government in terms of emergency aid. So China is stepping into the power vacuum that we're leaving behind. If this is a more moderate, and that's a big if this is a more moderate Taliban, there are probably opportunities for us to establish diplomatic relations with them. If this is still very much the old Taliban, like we saw pre-9/11, I would not expect much more than very icy relations between the United States and the Taliban government.
VSU is committed to helping its students find employment upon graduation, which is why the school hosts a variety of career events such as the Fall Education Fair. VSU's Career Opportunities Office is hosting its Fall 2021 Education Fair. While this event is tailored toward education majors, students of all majors are still encouraged to stop by to get information from a variety of school systems.
The Fall Education Fair is specifically school systems and graduate programs. So this is what we call a niche fair because it's completely made up basically of education type employers as well as graduate programs that are willing to take in students that are graduating with degrees and allow them to come into their graduate program.
According to U.S. News and World Reports, school systems across the country are facing a teacher shortage due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
There is a very high demand for teachers right now and positions within the school, and so they are more open to other majors and paying for their license program and giving them contingency offers and allowing them to sign contracts that basically say, you have X amount of time to get your license while you're here, but we're going to go ahead and hire you and allow you to work as a teacher depending on which subject you are.
The Fall Education Fair is perfect for students who aren't quite sure what they want to do upon graduation.
Don't be nervous. It's very helpful actually because I came in not knowing what was going to be in here, and I actually have a wide spread of options. I'm just an open book right now, so if you don't know what path you want to take or where you want to go, it's great because there's a lot of great schools in there and they're very welcoming and they talk to you, give you all the information you need.
While the Fall Education Fair is the last career event of the semester, students should be on the lookout for more information on events like these in the spring. Students who would like help preparing for events such as these should contact VSU's Career Opportunities Office. I'm Cyle Clark, reporting for News Valdosta. The city of Valdosta is facing a string of violent crimes, with multiple shootings and murders occurring all over the city. The last one happened just this past week. Despite the recent increase in crimes, such as shootings and murders, the Valdosta Police Department tell me that the overall crime rates are down.
They're one-time incidents. It's not really something that the general public would have to be super concerned about. These are people that are known. They've targeted someone else. It could be a beef, it could be a drug deal gone bad, it could be gang related. So these people know who they're going after. So they're pretty much isolated incidents.
Residents of the city are concerned with the increase of violent crimes they say have struck the city.
I mean, it's definitely been concerning. Over the last couple of weeks, we've definitely seen, this massive increase in crime, or at least appears to be a massive increase in crime. And that is, it's a concerning thing that it's not just kind of petty crime, right? It's massive crime.
With more and more businesses opening back up after the pandemic, officers hope that crime rates will remain low and the number for violent crimes will decrease.
Back in 2020, we had almost 70-something thousand calls for service, and it was just really, really busy. The anxiety brought on by the pandemic. Everybody didn't know what was going on. Everything was brand new. Everybody's staying at home. No one's getting out. Businesses are closed. You have a lot of stress. You have a lot of anxiety from folks. That causes friction, and a lot of the calls were resultant from that.
Data has shown that while there is an increase in serious crime, rates for crimes like burglary and theft have decreased. Chief Leslie Manahan attributes this decrease to the COVID-19 pandemic and stay-at-home orders. I'm Cyle Clark, reporting for News Valdosta. With the end of the summer travel season, gas prices should have decreased, but that's not happening this fall as prices continue to climb amid a spike in oil costs.